Hello there, YouTubers. I'm gonna continue my retro series, retro computing series, and today it's a special day for me. I've been trying to hunt down one of the first Commodore 64s that was sold in Sweden, and sold in Sweden with a Swedish distributor. Maybe I should add. Which means a machine from around 1983. And this week I hopefully has been lucky. I got hold of an original machine with the original design, at least. And the seller told me that it's possibly that he bought it in 1983 in Sweden. He thinks so. He couldn't say 100% sure, but he thinks so. So first of all, I haven't unboxed the machine yet. I'm gonna do it here, but I want to show you the Swedish Commodore 64 user guide. And in Sweden, this machine was known as VIC64 when it was originally sold. I can't remember that I ever called it VIC64. I always call it C64 or the Commodore, eller brödburken, the bread box. In Sweden, if you look here at the back of the Swedish user guide, the machine was actually distributed by a company known as Handic that was placed in Gothenburg. And this Swedish user manual, it's not that many pages, but it includes a crash course in BASIC, some information on how to make your own sprites with BASIC, some information on how to program the SID chip in the machine so you can make sounds, and no assembler or machine language programming, but there's an introduction to peek and poke at least. And of course there are tables like ASCII table and well, everything that used to have in these manuals. The interesting thing I think is the box. I haven't opened the box yet, so I don't even know if this machine that's inside this box even work. The seller couldn't guarantee that either, but just have a look at this box. I think it's quite much nicer actually than the box that came in 1986. That's the second Commodore 64 I have that you have seen. So this box is nice, and I really hope the machine when I open it have the function keys in this color. I don't know if they have that in Sweden. I'm also a little bit concerned about the logo here. It's not. I don't think it's hard to see in that camera, but I think the original machine should have a rainbow, more colorful logo up here, but I'm not sure. The back side of the box, if we look there, have some quite interesting features. Of course, there's some information here. Not that much information actually, and there's some nice pictures. I really like the one down here with that man sitting there with Commodore 64 hooked up to all kinds of technical equipment. I don't know if you could do that. Maybe people made their own interfaces to all kinds of machines you have in a laboratory, because that's what's shown there. So yeah, that's I think about that. I'm gonna unbox the machine now and gonna show the machine after I unboxed it, and then we'll see if there are some spare time. I probably in this video will try to start it up and show you that too, and it hopefully will work. So I will be back. Okay, so I unboxed the machine. Here it is, and there was a computer at least in the box. As I stated earlier, I don't know yet if this one works. There were some things that I noticed immediately after unboxing it. First thing is that the function keys on the right side, they are not the same color on the box. They are in gray here. I don't know if that's a good or bad sign. However, up here you can see the colorful logo. On the box there was a much more neutral logo. I don't know if that was possible to see in the video on the box. Another thing, and that's a thing I didn't remember, but I don't know if it's possible to see this in the bad light I have here. But the keyboard, when you look at the computer as this, or if you look at the pictures on the boxes and so on, and pictures on the internet, it looks like the keyboard is completely black, but it isn't. It's actually a dark brown color on the keyboard. The touch of the keys are really good. Really good feeling about them. Actually better feeling on this keyboard than the C64C, or at least I think so. Maybe it's because I like this design better than the newer C64C. That's the other Commodore 64 that I showed the box of in one of my earlier videos. Yeah, the plastic case is in really good condition on this machine. I really hope it works. The seller told me he had it in its box for over 15 years, and it's shown. It's in really good condition. If you look at the side here, I don't know if it's possible to see that in this bad light, but okay, what you have here is your original connectors. They're the two joystick ports, power on, power off, and the power connector there. The backside of the computer actually don't give me any information on the manufacturing year. The other Commodore 64, it said here that was manufactured 1986. This one don't say anything. It's a Commodore C64. Its serial number is 65,758. Maybe someone out there on YouTube who collects this old machine can give me some hint on that. And it says it's made in West Germany, so it's at least manufactured before the Berlin Wall was fallen. Yeah, on the back side here we have our standard connectors. This is where you put your game cartridges. I think if you was fortunate to have a modem, you maybe put it there too, but this was used for your game cartridges. If you was an owner of the old Atari 2600 computer or the VIC-20 or something like that, the Atari game console or the VIC-20, you probably know about these cartridges you had with games on. Since the Commodore computers from the beginning only had a cassette drive, it was much faster to load games from these cartridges. However, these cartridges were very expensive to manufacture, so there wasn't actually too many cartridges manufactured of the lifetime. People seldom bought them. There were some cartridges that were popular for the C64, since they included software like adding more RAM memory to the 64, some assembler monitors and things like that came later on. Further on, here are two connectors where you put your, I don't know if you call these the serial connectors. This is actually where you put your disk drive, and if I don't recall wrong, you also could put your printer here, or you put your printer over there. I don't remember. But this is where you put your disk drive with your 5 1/4 inch discs. The RC connector for your television set, and then I noticed another thing here. This hole here is actually on all Commodore computers, even on my C128, the Commodore 128, I have this hole. But this one actually has a small screw. You can't see it. But what on the older machines you could use that. You could use a small Phillips screwdriver, and you could use that to tune the picture on your television set. On the later machines, they removed that screw. I'm not sure why. The hole was there, but the screw was gone. This is where you put your data set, your cassette drive, if you have one. You put it there. And there, of course, was a cassette drive with coming with this computer, the 1530. Yeah, and on the front side again, the nice red power light there. I don't think there's gonna be any time left over in this video to show you this machine, hopefully in working state. If it works, I will probably do a second video on that, maybe comparing this case with the modern C64C, so you can see the difference for those who haven't these real machines. So I think that's about that. Now I'm gonna stop this video and see if this machine really works or not. So enjoy.